According to Handbook 2 Administering the Church, the stake president oversees the conferral of Melchizedek Priesthood and ordinations to high priest and elder. In most cases, a bishop will initiate recommendations for these ordinations. These instructions are contrary to the revelations on how elders and high priests are to be selected and approved for ordination. The Lord directed in a revelation to Joseph Smith at the organization of the church that elders are to be called, ordained, and receive their licenses at a conference of the church or from their local congregations. High priests are to be ordained by the direction of a high council or general conference. In neither case, elder or high priest, does a stake president have authority to direct or oversee Melchizedek priesthood ordinations. The handbook requires that interviews be conducted before approving a Melchizedek priesthood conferral or ordination. The handbook does not explain why these interviews are necessary. According to a fundamental tenet of the church, a man is supposed to be called of God by prophecy. Prophecy requires no interviews. The Lord, when explaining the process by which a man was ordained to priesthood office, did not mention the need for interviews. Again, the call was to be made by God and the ordination by the power of the Holy Ghost. Nothing else was necessary. The modern church imposes minimum age requirements for receiving priesthood. Each Aaronic priesthood office has a specific minimum age for ordination. Like the requirements for interviews and approvals, no explanation is given for the imposition of minimum ages. The handbook does not provide any scriptural or revelatory basis for these age requirements. Minimum age requirements pose another doctrinal dilemma. In earlier dispensations, and indeed in our own, prophets were called to be prophets by the Lord well before meeting the modern church's minimum age requirements. Samuel was called to be a prophet as a child. Jeremiah was ordained to be a prophet before his birth, and was sent forth as a prophet like Samuel when he was a young child. When Joseph Smith received the first vision of the Father and Son, he was 14 years old. At that age, Joseph was not qualified to be a priest. Yet, from that point on, he functioned as a prophet of God. If God can call mere children as prophets, then why must young men wait until certain minimum ages to receive priesthood office? The ages that the handbook imposes are not only minimum ages. They are also age requirements to ordain young men at the ages specified for each office. Should imposes a requirement to ordain. Indeed, that is how the ordination system works. There is an age minimum for Melchizedek priesthood as well. These sets of rules cannot be considered called by prophecy.